It started with a call from a Channel 7 viewer last October. He caught these kids on surveillance camera trying to break into his home in one of Detroit's nicest neighborhoods. But police initially did nothing, even though officers who showed up at the scene recognized the suspects. When I last reported on this case in February, the Special Assignment Task Force had arrested, prosecuted, and convicted 2 of the 4 young people caught on that homeowner's surveillance video. The morning after my story aired, this woman in the Aviation sub was shaken out of her sleep.
I heard 3 real loud thumps. Bam! Bam, bam. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't imagine what it was.
She looked out of her window and found herself in a stare down with a man trying to kick in her front door.
Just one more kick, he would have been in my house. I'm here defenseless. And it's terrible. He's broken the frame of my door. I can't even lock my door. I spend too much money to put up with this. I can't stay in the city any longer.
Her home was just down the street from where the Channel 7 viewer caught the other guys on tape trying to break into his house. Fortunately, the Special Assignment Task Force was in the neighborhood that morning. They heard the call come over the police radio and recognized the description of a car. Within minutes, police had 2 cars impounded and 4 people in custody for questioning. They say all 4 were connected to the others they'd arrested for that crime caught on tape. Police used crafty detective work to tie one of the men, James Hall, to this woman's break-in attempt. The intruder left a footprint in the snow. When police took James Hall's shoe to the scene, it was a perfect match. Later, the woman picked Hall out of a photo lineup. He's now awaiting trial for attempted home invasion. And the arrest of James Hall is just the beginning. Since last November, they've made 80 arrests, 65 in the Aviation subdivision for home invasions or attempts. The other 15 made on the fringes of the subdivision for crimes ranging from armed robbery to check fraud, fugitive warrants, and drugs.
I was taken aback when I saw your initial special, and I'd like to thank you for bringing it to the attention.
Sheriff Benny Napoleon says his officers are making a dent in the problem, and he's hearing, as we are, that residents are happy.
I've received several responses from people in the neighborhood saying that they're pleased with things that are going on, and they hope that we can continue to stay on top of the issue, and we're doing our best.
I think the task force has done an excellent job.
This man is the husband of the woman who was shaken up by that break-in attempt in February. Unfortunately, they decided to leave the city and have a buyer for their home. He doesn't think people in Detroit can expect police to do it all alone.
I grew up on the west side of Detroit as a youngster years ago, and neighbors looked out for each other. They made a point of knowing who was coming, who was going, what vehicles were involved. And I think neighbors have the attitude now that if they don't get involved, it won't touch their lives. And what we're discovering is just the opposite.
Sheriff Napoleon says one of their frustrations is that people arrested for property crimes usually get back on the street fairly quickly, then they go right back to breaking into these homes. He says it's an age-old problem and it comes down to money. How much people are willing to pay for jail and prison space. Scott Lewis, Channel 7 Action News.